Hey, so I just got a question for all of the ladies out there hating on the passport bros, right? You don't like the passport bros for whatever reason. I just have a question for you. Do y'all at all really care about what these men actually want? And I ask that question because usually when you hear a woman talking about the passport bros in some type of derogatory way, she's usually saying that these guys are going to take advantage of these women. They're looking for less educated women. They're looking for women that they can manipulate, control, etc., etc. Always put in a negative context. And I think therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. See, like these women refuse to care or concern themselves with what these men actually want. Now, before I even speak on it and just make it seem like it's all women's fault, I do understand that there are a lot of men who travel to South American countries in particular because prostitution is legal in some of them. So they're going there to just fulfill some type of sexual fantasy. I do also understand that a lot of brothers didn't know, a lot of people didn't know that physically a lot of the women in some of these South American countries are physically built like a lot of black American women, meaning what? That a lot of black men like fit women with nice physical features, and that there are also a lot of fit women with nice physical features in South American countries. Okay, so when a lot of brothers come to realize that, now they need to go see it for themselves to understand and know what they've been missing, because obviously the media, the TV doesn't really show you too much of that world. Okay, so I understand it from that perspective, and I do get that. But the whole other elephant in the room, the other aspect of the conversation, is that a lot of these black men are saying, listen, a lot of black American women are just not wife minded. Y'all not wife material. A lot of y'all are so emotionally damaged, and a lot of y'all also look down on traditional roles of femininity. And basically, it goes just like this. A lot of these women minds automatically default to the most, because this is the real problem. The real problem is when you're dealing with an American woman, particularly an American black woman. A lot of their minds immediately default to the most negative possible outcome. So when you tell a woman that you're looking for a traditional woman who know how to be a feminine traditional woman, her mind immediately go to a negative place. She immediately start talking about, well, I'm not going to just be popping out babies, and I'm not going to just do this. They immediately cop an attitude. It's like something's wrong with them. The way that they think is what is causing the disconnect. And so I think a lot of this just goes back to and relates to the idea that a lot of these people are realistically just selfish. A lot of these women are realistically just selfish, and they want what they want. They're not concerned with what other people would want from them. And therein lies the problem, okay? I will put it just like this. Ladies, if you know of a black man, or you know that there are black men out there who are looking for wives, and they have not been able to find them within the black American community, okay? Why would you be mad that a brother is going to another place to find a woman, particularly a black woman, from another culture to make her his wife? I don't understand why there would be a problem with that, because at the end of the day, American women have come flat out, especially American black women have come flat out and said openly, like, listen, I don't need a man. I don't need you. I got my own this, my own that. You know, I don't need y'all. So why would y'all then turn around and make it seem like it's a problem when these men want to go and find women who want to be in more so traditional roles? I don't understand that. And the more I think about it, the more I realize how hypocritical and ridiculous it is. It's ridiculous. So again, ladies, I'll put it like this. When I started to hear about the divestment movement, when I started to hear that there was a number of black women who basically felt like black men were not even a good option anymore in terms of serious relationships that lead to a marriage. When I heard about that, I became curious, and I started to listen to these women, not to bash them, not to find out if they're all fake, flawed, and phony, but to try to understand what it was, if there was a thing that these women were looking for that they saw in other races of men that would make them better suitable partners in terms of marriage than black men. And that's because I actually care about what black women think. I actually value their opinions. But for some reason, when passport bros are saying, like, basically the exact opposite thing, like, listen, black women aren't a good viable option, let's go somewhere else where the women are built and raised to be wives, all of a sudden it's this bash fest. Now, if I had come right out the gate and said divestors are just self-hating black women who hate their fathers and are just weak-minded losers, if I had just come right out the bat and said that, that would be me trying to delegitimize the intelligence of these women, which would only further show these women that I really don't care about them. Because if I don't listen to what you have to say, if I don't value your opinion, then I'm going to find some type of way to label it as a negative thing. So when I hear black women or women of any race bash men, American men, for going to foreign countries to try to look for wives, it immediately tells me that y'all are unwilling to change and don't really love these men that you're talking about, that you're complaining about anyway. So with that being said, why are you complaining? Why would you complain about what a group of men that you don't give a damn about are doing? And I can give you the answer to that. The answer to that is because you think you have the right to control them. And when you realize that you cannot control what these men are doing and that they're no longer going to be looking for your validation, they no longer care to impress you. They're not checking for you, and you can't reject them. Now your feelings is hurt. Now you feel like somebody has taken something from you. So now you have to take that person and try to push them even lower on the quote unquote totem pole of your own mind. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So, of course, I like to end on a positive note, and I will end it positively by saying this. Ladies, if you really care about black men, and you really care about your men, and you really care about the men that you're complaining about, then what you would do is stop and listen to what these men are saying. I'm not saying there are certain black guys who are doing it because they don't like black women or whatever the situation. They're evil with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that those men don't exist. But when you hear black men talk about why they chose these women, it ain't because the woman is not black or whatever, or it ain't got nothing to do with the color of a woman's skin. It's about the way that these women operate. And if you look at the way that the women that these men are going for, the way that they operate, if you're looking at that in a negative light and you're saying, listen, I can't do that, I would never do that, that is beneath me, I'm too good for that, I don't need to do that, etc., I don't care about what that man wants, then please don't complain. But if you do love these men, you would listen. Now I know what women are going to say next. Most black men can't afford to have a traditional woman, etc., etc., right? That's what women are going to say. These men can't afford to have it. When the truth of the matter is that this society puts you in a position to not need that man. This society puts you in a position. So when someone says to you, your man, you make $85,000 all by yourself. Your man make $100,000 all by himself, right? So your man wants you to quit your job, be a stay-at-home housewife, right? A homemaker off of his $100,000 salary and maybe some other part-time thing he got going on. You're going to look at that and say, that would be me stepping down. That's me stepping down. I'm not going to let go of certain elements of my lifestyle that I've come to enjoy to be his wife, even though he's a good man and he's looking for a wife. Whereas a woman from another country not making what you making is going to look at that and say, dang, that's an instant come up for her. That's an instant come up for her. And she going to be childless, and she going to be super fit, and she going to be feminine. She ain't going to have no problem cooking, cleaning. She ain't going to be none of this complaining, fighting, bickering that we got to do dealing with some of y'all. She ain't strong-minded and independent, as if, and want to promote that as if that's what a man wants. Like we care about we want you to be strong-minded and independent. No, y'all got this thing totally misconstrued, some of y'all. So I really believe that a lot of women, bruh, like y'all, like it's like you want a man to teach you how to be a woman. And men who got their business together, their lives together, their priorities straight, they ain't got time to do that. But I really feel that these women could learn a lot from the way that women from other countries treat their men and the roles that they play and the way that they actually articulate and express their love for their men. Last thing I'm gonna say is this. I was watching like some show the other day, and this Dominican woman was on there talking about how she would feel ashamed as a woman if her husband was in the kitchen washing dishes. She would feel ashamed as a woman if her husband was in there having to cook and clean for the family. She would feel as if she's not doing what she's supposed to do as a woman. How many women would second that argument or second that thought process? That my man should never have to do certain things, or if he should, or if he does, it should be rare to, if ever, happening, because I take pride in my job or my role in this household as his wife. How many American women even think like that? And, is it too much for a man to ask for his woman to cherish and actually honor her role as a woman in the context of this family? Granted, this man can play his masculine role in that household. What is wrong with that? I tell you, it ain't nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that the man's gonna, do all this abuse. Like this is what women be talking about. They always make it seem like it's abuse. No, there are certain men out here who just want their woman to play the role of a woman. Take it easy. Bask in your femininity. Do what you want to do. But please do take care of your responsibilities as a woman, and I'm going to take care of all of mine as a man. That box is going to stay checked. So I'm going to take pride in my role. How about you take pride in yours? What's wrong with that? When other men of other races and other cultures ask for it, and they don't even have to ask for it, they just get it. But when they ask for it and they're in position to receive it, it ain't never an issue. But when the black man asks for it, oh my God. Oh my God. So I would love to hear y'all comments on this topic of discussion. Till we try to get in this urban politics, and I'm checking out on y'all. Deuce.